Hi friends, welcome to math today. Today it is Wednesday. It's February 24th today. And our math objective today is to identify 3D shapes. So last time we kind of just matched shapes to shapes, and today you're going to identify those, which means that it's expected that you would know the names for each of the 3D shapes that we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of give you lots of examples today of these different kinds of 3D shapes. So we're going to start right here with the sphere, okay? Now a sphere looks like a circle kind of, but you can see that they've put like some highlight on here to show that it has depth, right? So a sphere, some different examples of a sphere might be, and I hope you can see this in the picture. Here's a picture of a beach ball. A beach ball is a sphere, okay? Another example of a sphere would be a bowling ball. Pretty much you could get any kind of ball involved, and it's going to be a sphere, okay? Some other not typical ideas of a sphere. Here we have an apple. An apple isn't quite a perfect sphere, but it's very close to a sphere, right? So it's a round shape. It's a round apple. Okay, so that's an example. Here I have a hacky sack. It's also not a perfect sphere because it's kind of squishy, but it has depth. It's a round circle. It's a sphere. Sphere. Another example would be this ball that I have right here. Like I said, any kind of ball is going to be a sphere. This one is one of those stress relieving balls. Oh, feels so good. And the last one that I have, um, well, I'm going to save that one for later. Let's move on to our next shapes, shall we? Our next shape is called a cylinder. Now, a cylinder is interesting because it actually has a circle on the top and a circle on the bottom, and it's joined and goes around like a tube. Okay, so anytime that we have like a tube type structure, um, that's going to be a cylinder. Okay, so I'm going to show you some examples of a cylinder. Here I have some pictures. If you have a canned food, any kind of can is going to be a cylinder, okay? Can of chili, can of green beans, that's a cylinder. Here's just a picture of a tube. Any kind of tube is going to be a cylinder, okay? So I have some actual shapes here, some examples. So here's an example of a little canned good, and you can see it has a circle on the top, circle on the bottom, and it goes all the way around. This is a cylinder. Cylinder. Um, Look at this. It's a slinky. This is also a cylinder. This is a cylinder. A slinky is a cylinder because it has a tube. It's hollow in the middle, has circle on one side, circle on the other, joined by all the way around. Cylinder. Uh, Here's just a block. This is a cylinder. It's round. It's got the circle on the top, circle on the bottom, goes all the way around. Here's a cylinder. Let's see. Oh, I have a couple more of these ones. We have a salt shaker. Okay. And this is a cylinder, even though it kind of pops on the top, it's still a cylinder. So we have a circle and a circle, and it goes all the way around. Cylinder. And one more cylinder that I have to show you. This is a pencil grip. So it's got circle on one side, circle on the other, goes all the way around like a tube. It's a cylinder. Okay. All right, let's take a look at two new words over here, and then I'm going to introduce you to one extra one. Oh, sorry, we have three more. The next one is cube. Cube. So a cube is working off of a square, right? We have squares, but it's 3D, meaning it has depth to it. Some examples of cubes would be dice, right? When we have dice, those are cubes, okay? I actually have a die right here. This is an example of a cube, okay? Next, I have a tissue box. That one will be a cube. Not all are the shape of a cube, of a square, but this one is in this picture. So a tissue box is also a cube. And here's a picture of an ice cube. An ice cube is definitely a cube. It even has cube right in the name of it, right? So an ice cube, it's like a block, right? Here's an example of a cube that's just a block. It's got a square on all sides, totally square, okay? And I think that's my last cube that I have, other than the other die. So I have two dice, a white and a red. Those are cubes, okay? Okay, let's look at our next shape. Oh, the next shape is kind of like a cube, but it's a rectangle. So where a cube is a square, a rectangular prism is a rectangle, okay? So let's look at some examples of a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism would be any kind of box like this, like a cracker box, a cereal box, those kinds of things, a cookie box. Those are rectangular prisms. Here's an example of a rectangular prism in a little box, right? So it's got rectangles on all of the sides. Rectangles. Another example would be a book. A book is a rectangular prism because it has rectangles on all sides. I do have a couple blocks that are rectangular prisms. It doesn't really matter what size they are. So this one is a rectangular prism that is longer. And then and it's a block, right? And then we also have a shorter rectangular prism that looks like this. I have one more rectangular prism, but we're gonna so it's a milk box, right? It has rectangles on all sides. That makes it a rectangular prism. But it also has this top part. We're going to talk about that part next because this top part right here has a triangle on it. And so that is a little bit different part. So let's go back and look at our next word, which is triangular prism. So this top part has triangles on all the sides, okay? And that's what makes it a triangular prism. Some more examples of triangular prisms would be this piece of pie is a rectangular prism because it has, or sorry, not rectangular, triangular prism. It has a triangle and it has depth, okay? So triangles on both sides. Another example of a triangular prism would be the roof of a house. The roof of a house is a triangular prism because it has a triangle on that front side, and then it's a triangle in the back as well. So a triangular prism would be a roof. One more example would be a tent. Don't you think that this picture on the screen looks a lot like a tent? That would be another example of a triangular prism. This right here is a block that's a triangular prism. It's got a triangle on both sides and it has depth. That's what makes it a triangular prism. And that's it. Okay, we have one more word that we're going to talk about today, and this one is cone. I need to bring it over though and make it big because they didn't include this vocabulary word. But I wanted to show it to you anyway. So this right here is called a cone. Now it's kind of similar to a triangle, except for it's joined all the way around with the circle at the end. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean. I have a picture, or sorry, an object right here. This is an ice cream cone. Okay, so a cone has a circle on one side, and then it makes a triangle when you look at it from the side. Okay, so a cone looks just like that. Some other examples of a cone might be a birthday hat. So there's a picture of a birthday hat. That would be a cone. And another example would be a funnel. A funnel is also cone shaped with a circle on one end, makes a triangle when you look at it from the side. Okay, so all together, friends, we have learned a lot of new terms, haven't we? We've learned cube, we've learned rectangular prism, we learned triangular prism, we learned cone, and the two from last time, sphere and cylinder. Okay, so we have actually 6 different terms that we've learned these last 2 lessons. So that's a lot. Let me go over um, what we have on our worksheets for today for our practice. The worksheets I think are going to be pretty easy for my friends because I think that you guys picked up on these terms last time so well that this is going to be a breeze. So the only thing that you really need to do is use you're going to use the draw tool and you're going to draw lines between the names of the 3D shapes and the actual 3D shapes. So I have triangular prism. I'm going to match that up with the triangular prism. I have cube here. I'm going to match it up with the cube down here. I have cylinder, match it with the cylinder, and sphere. I'm going to match it with the sphere. If I look down for the second worksheet, this one has objects that are common in our environment. And this time we're going to name those 3D objects by the name of their shape. So the first one says cube. If I look over into the right-hand column, I can see that I have a Rubik's Cube right here. So I'm going to, that's of course a cube. So I'm going to draw a line from cube to the Rubik's Cube. The second picture is a golf ball. Well, we talked about how anytime we have a ball, it's going to be a sphere. So I'm going to draw a line from this to the sphere. Right here we have like a box. I don't know what kind of box that is. It looks like some kind of a package box. But this box we know is going to be a rectangular prism because it has rectangles on all the sides. So I'm going to draw a line to rectangular prism. And then the last one, this is a can. It looks like a canned like chili or something. I don't know. Doesn't have a label. But this can, we know, has circles on both sides, on both ends, and then is joined by like just like a tube, right? And that's a cylinder. So I'm going to draw a line between the can and the cylinder. Okay. Now it's your turn, friends. So I want you to advance on this Nearpod, go to the next 2 slides and complete your worksheets. Remember to always hit the submit button so that I can see your work. And I'm looking forward to seeing how you progress on this. I hope you have a great day and I'll talk to you guys later.